Good afternoon, everyone. We are back here at Weingart Stadium on the campus of East Los Angeles College here in beautiful Monterey Park for the season opener of Husky football. I'm Albert Robles, bringing you all the action here tonight as the Huskies take on San Diego Mesa for their first game of the season. On the return for the Huskies was number 3, Jaden Thomas. East LA will take over on their own 29-yard line for their first official possession of the 2026 season. And we're still working through a few bugs here and there, so if there isn't a proper scoreboard, we do apologize. We are working on that. We'll try and update it as it comes along. And this Husky team is basically a brand new team compared to last season. Only about 20 sophomores on this team. It's mostly freshmen. Back in at quarterback for this mostly freshman offense is going to be number 8, Anthony Hernandez, the 6'1", 195-pound freshman at Salesian High School.
So, what else has to get see?
Hernandez rolls to his left, gets a quick pass out to Mikhail King-Hagen. One of the few sophomores on this Husky team.
Short piece of the play.
Yeah, it looks good. Looks good, right? Yeah.
Second down, and 14.
I think any ones I can get today. That looks really good. Yeah. So we got the first and 10s. So she probably is, like I said, she's got it updates as she. Yeah, we're good. We're good. We're good.
So it'll be second down here for the Huskies. Pass up the middle, broken up.
Pass up the middle, broken up.
Looks like that was number 1 on the play for San Diego Mesa, Carter Ross. And the pass was intended for number 11, Mikhail King-Hagen. Third down for East LA. Be third and 13.
Third and 13.
We'll see what the Huskies have up their sleeve to see if they can move chains. Get a first down here on their first possession of this young season. Hernandez rolls to his left. Pass is thrown to the sidelines. They're going to call a catch. First down and a flag on the play. We'll see what the white hat has to say. This ball might be coming back.
This ball might be coming back.
And it's going to be holding on the offense, so that's going to back them up. Holding on the offense they would like. They're going to repeat third down. And we'll see if they can pull out some more magic out of their sleeves here. It'll be third and 23.
Okay. So that's not okay. So instead of doing this, we'll go to Plan B. Plan B, I have another score over there. Okay. It's look on the dots.
Hernandez takes a snap. Throws to his left and overthrows the intended target of Jaden Thomas. That's going to force a fourth down, and East LA will elect to punt it away.
Thomas, ball is complete. Moving fourth down for East LA. Colin McCann.
I believe it's not shown live.
Lots of chaos on the kickoff. It's number 3 on the return, and a helmet comes flying off of one of the players. That was on the return receiver, which was Colin McCann, 13 yards on the return.
Here's the flag.
And the Olympians will take over from about midfield.
Personal foul. Illegal block on the receiving team. 15-yard penalty. First down, San Diego Mesa.
Yeah, it is supposed to be. Now, there is another way to find it. There is another way to find it. It's just for who's not there, doesn't mean it's not.
So it looks like the ball will officially be spotted on about the 26-yard line. It'll be a handoff for the first play for the Olympians. Handoff was made to number 6, Alexander Villanueva. He gets 9 yards on the play, just shy of the sticks. Second and short.
Number 6, Alexander Villanueva. Second one.
And a great defensive move on that play.
Run
Prevents Villanueva from moving the chains. Third down coming up for San Diego Mesa. And an injured Husky on the field. The athletic trainers will tend to the injured Husky on the field.
Now, there's a way to still check. It just means that it's not active here. It doesn't mean it's not tracking. There's a link inside the back rest of it that you can follow the left steps. It's just weird that it's not. One guy. What hell we need? Baseball, we throw baseball. What?
No, I don't know why the fly score. I was trying to
What?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why.
Let me know.
So the flag on the play will be first down for San Diego Mesa. Will be on the 37-yard line. Drops back and he'll run up the middle, keep it for himself. This Diesel Taylor, 6'6" quarterback for the Olympians. Gain of about 5 yards on the play. Second and 5 for San Diego Mesa.
No, I see him down there. See, there he is. 91? Yeah. 99 or 91? 91. I was joking. Oh, no.
Here's the snap. Pass to the right. Is caught by Villanueva. Takes a hit at the sticks, but it'll be enough for a first down. That'll move the chains for Mesa. That'll be a gain of 6 on that play.
First down, San Diego Mesa.
First and 10 on the Olympians' 48-yard line. It's another handoff to Villanueva, which is good for 10-plus yards. So back-to-back first down runs for Villanueva. So far, Villanueva has been making it really easy for Diesel Taylor. And a good defensive stop there for the Huskies. Allows only a short gain for Villanueva of about 3 yards. 2nd and 8 officially. Actually, 2nd and 7. Here's a snap. Taylor runs it up the middle, keep it himself, and will slide down himself. Just shy of the first down. So Mesa already effectively moving the ball along in their first possession of the game. 10 minutes left here to go in the first quarter. East LA almost caught jumping. Taylor takes a snap, throws deep to the right. Ball goes up and out of bounds. Incomplete pass intended for number 23, Jaden Channel.
David Channel. Fourth down, San Diego Mesa.
So 4th down for San Diego Mesa. 4th and short. We'll see if they're able to convert for the first down. Here's a snap. It'll be a handoff to Villanueva. He's going to get the first down. So a fresh set for San Diego Mesa. Correction. That was number 5 on the carry, who does not exist on my roster. Let's see if I can get you an update there. Taylor throws deep to the left, and that pass is caught for a touchdown, complete to Colin McCann on the deep pass, and the Olympians are first on the board.
Pass complete, number 3, Colin McCann, touchdown, Olympians.
So 6-0 in favor of San Diego Mesa, pending the extra point. And it looks like my roster is a bit out of order in terms of where the numbers are, because number 5 is listed after number 2, but that's listed after before number 21 on the roster. It looks kind of weird if you're actually go online and look at it, but number 5 is officially listed as Devin Serta, running back, 5'10", at El Camino High School. And the kick was no good. Actually, was good. Scoreboard a little slow to update. So Olympians with the early lead. We'll see if East LA can respond.
Will Austin Thomas back receives the kickoff for the Huskies.
Here is the kick. Deep and almost into the end zone. And a big hit on number 10, McCain Watkins. On to the return receiver, Jaden Thomas. But Thomas able to get the ball back to the 24-yard line. So a decent return by Jaden Thomas. We'll see if the Huskies can capitalize on that favorable return. Just about 9 minutes to go here in our first quarter of play. Olympians up 7-0 off the touchdown to Colin McCann. Almost messed up the snap, but they're able to get the ball off. It'll be a run play, and it's fumbled. And the ball is picked up by the Olympians. Officials say the runner is down before the ball popped out. So Huskies catch a break on the first down run by Eric Stubbs. He went down right where the stick marker was. After that, ball popped out. So his shoulder and head were already down. After that, the ball pops loose. That is officially down by contact. A great first down run by Stubbs. Hernandez has a snap. They'll hand it off again. Stubbs punching up the middle. Will be a short gain of about a yard. So 2nd and 9 for the Huskies.
Second down 9, East LA.
It's on 3D, so we go live. We got that voice. I didn't want to throw it up because I was PC it messed up. It just doesn't it never goes up. I don't know how to change that. I was really lucky.
Flags on play. False start on the Huskies.
False start on the offense.
Be a 5-yard penalty. That'll back them up. Still second down. And another flag on the play. This is thrown by the white hat. And another false start by East LA. Back-to-back false starts.
False start on the offense.
Total of 10 yards lost. So now it's 2nd and 19 for East LA. Almost backed up to where the ball was originally returned on this possession. Hernandez hands off to Stubbs. Runs up the middle and is met fiercely by number 33, Galicione. Six minutes, 30 seconds to go. 3rd and long here for East LA. So warm afternoon here at Weingart Stadium, 90 degrees officially. And apparently there was some rain earlier in the day, around 3 o'clock or so, according to some of the stadium officials I've talked to. It's kind of added a certain freshness into the air. Still a little muggy, but it's quite comfortable so far. Now the handoff to Stubbs up the middle. Solid return, but not going to be enough by any means to move the chains. So it'll be a 4th down for East LA. They'll punt it away with 5.5 to go here in the first quarter of play.
By number 3, Paul McCann. Pushing it around by the Huskies, number 30. First and 10, San Diego Mesa from the 30. Pass intended for number 11, Preston Ball. Ball incomplete. Second down, San Diego.
So working through a little bit of technical issues here. Sounds like there was a bit of an audio trouble. Hopefully we are better. Handoff to Villanueva up the middle. That'll be good for a gain of about 3. Fake the handoff. Taylor keeps it, runs it up the middle. Short gain of about 2. Fourth down, San Diego, Mesa. Olympians still lead 7-0, just under 2 minutes here to play in the first quarter. Serta lined up in the backfield. It'll be a handoff up the middle. Will it be enough? Olympians say yes, but we have no official indicator by any of the judges. And it'll be a turnover on downs. East LA is able to make the stop. So 1st and 10 for East LA. They'll take it over on their own 22-yard line. So here comes the Husky offense with 1:34 to go here in the first quarter of play. They trail by 7. Hopefully they come out with a bit of energy after that huge defensive stop to force the turnover on downs. Hernandez has a snap. He'll hand it off up the middle. Short gain of about 4 by looks of the judge on the side. Those hand off to Eric Stubbs. Second and 6. Clock is running under a minute to go here in the first. Here's the snap. Hernandez throws left. One-handed catch to the sideline. Pass is caught indeed. That was number 15, Jonas Leo Paz on the catch. Third and short for East LA. Clock is running. Here is the snap. They'll hand it off. And it'll be brought down back at the line of scrimmage. That was Stubbs on the handoff. And that will bring us to the end of the first quarter. After 1 quarter of play, Olympians 7, Huskies nothing. Going into the second quarter, the Huskies will be punting it away to the Olympians. We'll see what they're able to do on that particular play and see if they can pin the Olympians back in favorable territory for the Husky defense. And for those of you trying to follow along at home, we do apologize as well, because it looks like there is a little bit of miscommunication on the live stats, as there isn't any current live stats link. I think there might have been a mix-up in terms of which link the operator is supposed to use, so we do apologize for those who are trying to follow along with the live stats as well as the live feed. We'll try to get you as many updated statistics as we can as the game goes on. Lots of new implementations this season, so still trying to iron out a lot of the finer details. Low snap, kick is up. It'll be deep. Takes a little bit of a Husky bounce. And the Olympians will take over on about the 37-yard line. So 1st to 10 for San Diego Mesa. Here at the start of the second quarter. Mesa able to get on the board in their first possession of the game off a passing touchdown to number 3, Colin McCann. And that is as much as the scoring details go so far. Here's the snap. They'll fake the handoff. Pitch to McCann. And incomplete. They're going to say that McCann was out of bounds. A great effort there. By Diesel Taylor, but not enough. Oh, correct. It's actually a Ryland Jesse in at quarterback, number 16. And joining me on the broadcast now, it's going to be a newcomer to the program, Gabriel Duarte. Gabriel, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm actually really excited to get out here, watch some football on a beautiful Thursday night. Only game in town here today, so it's going to be a good one.
I know it is a rare opportunity for Thursday night football, especially at the JUCO level. This is maybe only the second time we've done this. I know we did it last year, and when Cerwin told me that, I'm like, why? But that was a fun game, and hopefully East LA can make this one a fun one, too. Pass is overthrown by Jesse. Pass was intended to number 3, Colin McCann. He had that touchdown earlier.
McCann kind of doing it all. He's also the punt returner, kick returner for the Olympians, and just that athlete that you could really rely on for Mesa.
So defense coming up good so far in these last couple of possessions, able to get that turnover on downs, but unable to really do anything once they took over on the ball.
Apart from that opening,
Mesa so far. Sorry.
Apart from that opening drive from Mesa, defense has been the name of the game here. Obviously, the season opener for both teams, so expect a little bit of struggles here and there offensively. The Huskies have been penalized a couple of times and false starts. You expect them early on in the season here, but obviously not ideal.
And that's going to be quite the kick for Mesa. They're going to pin East LA back to the 13-yard line, 1st to 10 for East LA. And, you know, Gabriel, you mentioned it, it's been a fairly defensive game so far. That's usually how it goes for most Husky teams that I've seen in my years here. The defense usually comes up pretty good here and there, making some interceptions, making some tackles. Usually are the side of the ball that keeps them in play. It's the offense that's usually been a little up and down, as it were, here and there. So we'll see if there can be any change to that side of the ball. Sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't. We'll see what they can do. And plus, I had mentioned it earlier, pretty much mostly freshmen on this team, so there's going to be a lot of players who are adjusting to this Arnie Robles offense.
And, of course, with Coach Bobby Godinez still around and active in the program, they take on a little bit of his identity with that defensive strong suit.
And a great pass to the sideline and a catch for Damari Taylor. That's going to move the chains. First and 10. They'll hand it off to Stubbs.
I like the way East LA has been able to incorporate their quarterback. You spoke about it earlier. He's a freshman, Anthony Hernandez. He seems like he's getting more and more confidence as the game goes on and making that jump. Even if you're a 3-4 year level starter, it doesn't matter. Going from high school to college, that's a big jump in itself. He's getting an early taste of that against a solid Mesa defense.
And this may only be the junior, the junior collegiate level, but the game is that much faster. Players are a little more developed, a little bit bigger. Because, for a high schooler coming into a freshman, you're still going up against those who could be, other freshmen like yourselves, but a lot of teams will still have,
a lot of tugging right there.
Like a lot of sophomores on their team, or a lot of sophomores who are technically on their third year because they redshirted, so they're that much bigger, that much more improved, that much more learned. So there's a lot to face when you advance to the next level, and we'll see what the call is on that flag down in the secondary.
And like you mentioned, at the JUCO level, you're not only dealing with kids coming from the high school level, you're dealing with Division I, Division II bounce backs, guys who've been there at the highest level. They've competed, they've worked out, they know how to be, at this point in time, college athletes are almost professionals, so they kind of know how to really go about their business here.
Absolutely, and all that jersey tugging gives East LA an automatic first down off the pass interference on San Diego Mesa. First and 10 from their 39. It'll be a handoff, this time to Michael Rayner. Short gain of about 2, 2nd and 8 coming up for Huskies.
Looks like we got an injured player for Mesa.
And a quick injury timeout called by the White Hat.
You just hope it's cramps. Early on, it's hot. It's one of the hottest weeks in California. And at this point in the season, cramps is a big deal. These kids, they deal with coming out here, especially in the heat. It's their first time competing. They're giving it their all. Sometimes they don't take the best care of themselves in terms of hydration because they're so caught up in film, getting ready for the game, making sure they have all their belongings, especially from Mesa, traveling a couple hours up to East LA.
And practices and scrimmages can only prep you so much for live, full game action. It's a lot to expect. I've never played the game, but if you played any sports at all, practice does not replicate what actual game pace is. It is a whole other beast.
And you could always say, as coaches speak, practice the way you play in a game, but it's when that adrenaline's pumping, when you're feeling it on the field, when you got a crowd and your boys behind you, it's a whole different feeling.
Hernandez drops back, rolls to his left, runs forward. Pitch will fall incomplete. Try to get it to Michael Rayner. So third down for East LA.
Hernandez got a nice block on the outside to be able to make some room on the left there. Just unable to complete the pass. And ELAC once again backed up behind the chains. Will be interesting to see what the play call is here for the Huskies.
11:43 here to go in the first half. Olympians lead 7-0 off the touchdown by number 3, Colin McCann. East LA yet to get into enemy territory, as it were. Hernandez has a snap. He'll throw deep to the right.
Hernandez took a huge hit, and I believe this will be a first down for East LA.
There is indeed a flag in the backfield, like you said, Gabriel. We'll see what the call is there. It could indeed be roughing the passer.
That was a big hit he took, and he popped right back up. You can see he's kind of shaken up a little bit. It's the first game of the season. That's the first time you're probably getting hit that hard, especially at the quarterback position here. But a big chain mover there for East LA.
And that is indeed the call. Personal foul, roughing the passer on San Diego Mesa. Automatic first down for the Huskies. That'll bring them up. And you do, like you said it yourself, Gabriel, I do like the fact that Hernandez just popped right back up after taking that hit. We've seen a lot of Husky quarterbacks in the past have a lot of injuries that have kind of dampened a Husky season. So it's kind of scary to see him take that hit, but it's also very reassuring that he got up so quickly and was so, at least right now, visibly unimpacted by that play.
Looks like a timeout on the field.
Looks like it's the officials. Oh, it looked like the officials were meeting for a timeout, but it's actually a timeout called by East LA. Because the center was still on the ball. It looks like they were going to try to adjust the spot of the ball. And he's like, nope, not moving. Like this is where the ball's supposed to be. You're not taking it away from me. Kind of like to see that in a player, not wanting to give up, your team's position.
Exactly, yeah. Especially at the center position, you got to be one of the smartest guys on the field, and he knew if he gets up, could have been something wrong for the Huskies. But instead, I think we're going to switch out the balls here. Promising drive here from East LA so far. One of, if not their most promising drive so far throughout this game. Offense hasn't really done too much, but they're moving the ball. They're getting a couple first downs here. You're trailing 7 in your season opener. Husky faithful would like to see some points get put up.
And I do believe this is their first time actually in Mesa territory, so hopefully they can advance the ball a little further. Here's a snap. Hernandez throws to the right into double coverage for Damari Taylor. Pass will fall incomplete.
Nice pass from Hernandez in the sense of you see the double coverage, but he knew where he wanted that ball to go, just a little bit off on the timing. You throw it away from the hash and try and lead your wide receiver there. Only a spot where he can try and get it to, like you said, double coverage, but it safely falls incomplete for the Huskies.
And Taylor is one of the few sophomores on the offensive side on the ball, and he has come up with a lot of great catches in the previous season. So he is one of those guys who can absolutely make a play for you, just wasn't able to do it that time. Handoff to Stubbs up the middle. Gain of about 5 yards. It'll be 3rd and 5 coming up.
Stubbs runs that ball extremely hard. You can see right as soon as he was bracing for contact, he gets himself ready, gets himself low. As they always say in football, the lowest man wins. Churns down a couple of yards to make it a 3rd and manageable here for East LA. I'm not really too sure what their kicking situation is here. It's pretty long for a field goal. I would venture to say if this gets to 4th down, they would go for it.
Likely so. This team has never really had a good kicking history. But then again, most JUCO teams don't have a good kicking history because, if you could kick for anything, odds are you're not playing at this level to begin with. And Stubbs on the catch, able to break not 1, not 2, but 3 tackles and gets the 1st down.
And I was just talking about Stubbs and his contact-seeking ability there. How about a little shake and bake from number 5? A huge 1st down for East LA, and as I think they're comfortably moving the ball here, finding their stride on offense.
East LA converts the 3rd down. They'll get a fresh set and take over on the 31-yard line. Hernandez has a snap. It'll be a handoff yet again to Stubbs. Short gain of 1 on the play.
Mesa not afraid to show the blitz. They just blitzed on back-to-back plays there. Giving the young freshman some pressure early here in this one.
So Stubbs will come off for this next play. Second and 9 for East LA. Dwayne Thompson lined up on the near side. In motion goes Michael Reiner. But they'll throw to the sidelines on the far side of the field. It'll be good for a catch, complete to number 2, Damari Taylor.
And another 3rd and manageable coming up for East LA. This is a very good drive from the Huskies. You want to see it end in some points.
So 3rd and 4 for East LA. Faronea comes off the field. Lined up in at running back, Michael Rayner. Receiver on the near side is Dwayne Thompson.
Pistol formation here.
Hernandez fakes a snap, throws up the middle. Contact by number 17, Joshua Spencer, but it's clean. And prevents the completion.
Quarterback staying on the field. It looks like East LA will be going for it here on 4th down. Nope. Sending out special teams unit. It looks like they may be attempting a long field goal here.
Now they're a little too short in the territory to punt it. Might as well try to put one through the uprights and at least make the deficit 4.
You know it's early in the season when you have too many guys on the special teams unit. And you could tell the coaching staff very unhappy about that. And this is moments where you need to have things like this. Special teams unit, you need to make sure 11 guys are on the field and the right 11 guys, and it looks like East LA wasn't happy with what they saw there.
And they'll use their second timeout with 8 minutes, 21 seconds to go here in the second quarter as they trail the Olympians 7-0.
This has been a good drive for East LA in terms of giving their defense a little bit of a break. They had a couple of quick drives back-to-back, and their defense was forced to go out there. And to their credit, they got a couple of really big stops, but a nice little breather here, especially in this heat. Any couple of seconds with a little bit of extra water and sucking in some air always helps.
I know they were unable to find the end zone on this particular drive, but if they can come away with a score, it'll mean all that much more in terms of the game script the rest of the way.
Blocked.
Is blocked by Casey Sanchez. And Mesa prevents East LA from possibly getting on the board.
Not the result you want if you're East LA. Kick didn't even have a chance. It was blocked at the line. Husky defense will trot back out there.
And Olympians will take over on the 27-yard line with 8:14 to go here in the first half. Mesa up 7-0 as the defense takes over for East LA. The snap, pass overthrown.
I believe
Pass intended to Joshua Newbern, in at quarterback, number 12, Diesel Taylor. So it looks like Mesa swapping between Taylor and Jesse.
And it's early in the year. You know, you want to see your boys get some live reps in here. Obviously, the quarterback competition's been going on through the summer and into fall camp here, but there's, like we keep harping on, there's nothing like live reps.
Olympians will hand it off to number 5, Devin Serta. Gain of about 5 for number 5, so 3rd and 5 coming up here for Mesa. Definitely a manageable possession for the Olympians. We'll see if the Husky defense can step up and go to 4th down. Left a man wide open. He'll convert the first down. Pass is caught and complete by Joshua Newbern.
Yeah, I don't understand that coverage there. The DB was still falling back even when the ball was thrown. You got to know the sticks, got to know your situation there, and it just looks like a little bit of a lapse there for the Husky DBs.
Taylor still in at quarterback for San Diego Mesa. Here is the snap. They'll hand it off again to Devin Serta. Breaks some tackles and gets well beyond the chains. That's a 16-yard run for the first down.
Nice hole there from the offensive line. The Olympians have the clear size advantage down in the trenches here. They have some big boys on that offensive line.
Taylor throws to the right, and it'll go complete to number 10, McLean Watkins. It'd be a gain of about 5. Could have been a lot more, but the ball was thrown behind Watkins, so an impressive catch. But had it been thrown a little bit behind him, or maybe not ran as much forward in front of the ball, probably could have that first down and maybe a little bit more. Taylor throws right, Watkins open and into the end zone. Touchdown, Olympians.
Yeah, that was just a hard rep to watch. Watkins nearly blew by his man right off the bat. Nice release and a nice ball to make this a 2-possession game for the Olympians.
So 13-0 in favor of the Olympians, pending the extra point. Kick is up, and kick is good. So 14-0 in favor of San Diego.
Quick turnaround there. It was a 3rd down with a chance to get off the field with the ball in San Diego Mesa territory. Instead, a couple of big plays allow the Olympians to find the end zone for the 2nd time here today.
So Mesa about to kick it off to East LA here with 6:15 to go.
And I think the Huskies are building something on offense here. Let's hope that confidence, although they didn't end up in any points, there was a lot of promising things we saw in that last drive, and I'm sure that they're looking to continue to do more of the same.
Kick is boomed straight into the goalpost. That'll be a touchback for East LA. So a great kick for Mesa prevents East LA from returning the ball. They were able to move the ball quite effectively in their last possession. We know they were unable to get onto the scoreboard, but hopefully that last drive was able to finally click.
And that's all it is. You just got to find a few things that work, especially you got to make a couple of in-game adjustments, and that's where it really comes down to coaching. Who can make the better in-game adjustments and find the little things to help win this ball game?
Stubbs back in at running back. Hernandez still in at quarterback. The snap is good. They'll hand it off to Stubbs. It's going to be a short gain and a little bit of a scrum going on after the play, but it'll be a short gain of 1.
You can tell these boys are rearing and gearing up to go. The energy is flying off the field. Both sides just amped up. I think they're just excited to be playing some football.
Yeah, the Olympians defense definitely a little energized with how their offense was able to score so quickly. And with that really good kick, they definitely have the energy and momentum to try to pin East LA back and force another turnover.
Here comes
Hernandez
the blitz.
has a snap, throws deep to the right to Taylor. Pass is broken up. That was 21 on the cover. That was Matthew Carr, the 3rd.
You can tell it's starting to get a little personal here. You can see the offensive linemen talking amongst themselves. You could say Vicente de la Cruz saying, come on, guys, we need to protect our guy better. And frankly, they do. They do. You cannot let your quarterback take too many of those big hits. He's not the biggest guy in the world. He's no Cam Newton. So you can't let your quarterback get rumbled around like that, especially this early in the season.
Yeah, Hernandez listed at 6'1", 195. He's tall, but not big. And Hernandez is brought down by number 89. That's Wilford Anderson with the sack.
Back-to-back big hits on Hernandez. That offensive line has to make adjustments because Mesa, they just keep sending the pressure. 6, 7 guys, and it's overwhelming because you see the way East LA, they're lining up in that pistol formation. You don't really get the back helping out on pass protections. And so that kind of leaves Hernandez to be a little bit vulnerable. It forces him to make a split-second decision. Am I going to take my first or second read? And he doesn't even have a chance to really look at his second read. He's got 6, 7 guys in his face, and not a pretty sight there.
Big aerial kick here for East LA. Falls at about the 40-yard line. Ball is returned, and more for a first down, and brought down at the sidelines at the Husky 20. That was number 20. Let's see if I can find him on my roster. That's Isaiah Jackson of the Olympians with a huge return.
And that's just discipline right there. You see the gunner flying down the field. First man on the kick returner there, and he just missed the tackle. That can't happen. You're the first guy there, first line of defense. You need to at least force him to make a decision. And really, the kick returner took one step and he was gone, and that just can't happen. A breakdown like that, especially when he ran to the far side where that gunner was coming from, you leave no defense over there, and that's what happens, a big return.
And he broke one tackle at the very start, and then not a single point of contact further on. He just flew right past the Husky defense. .422 to go here in the first half. Olympians lead your Huskies 14-0. The game is far from over, but East LA has yet to show that they can move the ball effectively and get on the board. Pass to the sideline in the end zone. Good for a touchdown. Pass complete to number 23. That's Jaden Channel with the touchdown for San Diego Mesa. And it's now 20-0 pending the extra point.
East Los Angeles is going to have to do something about their coverage. Man-to-man is just not working for them. The Olympians are doing whatever they want off the line with their release, and it's either they're getting out in front or they're just out physicaling their DBs for East LA, and something has to change. You got to think about maybe moving to a zone coverage or maybe not pressing as much. I noticed that the DBs for East LA are getting up in the line, trying to get physical. If you're going to do that, you need to be physical, and you can't allow the guy, the receiver, to out-physical you. So some adjustment has to be made here, and otherwise it could get ugly here.
Kick was up and good. Now 21-0 in favor of the Olympians. And like you kind of mentioned it earlier, Gabriel, you know, like that's at least the second time that the Huskies have been burned at the corner that went in for a touchdown. It happened on the Mesa's previous drive, and it happened on this one here. The Huskies need to be able to make the adjustments to not get burned in the secondary, because it's happened twice for a touchdown, and it's happened other times for big gains.
And you look at it, and it's really just comes down to a technique thing, right? If East LA believes that they have the better athletes on the outside at DB, okay, that's fine. But you got to make sure your guys are doing the right things at the line, pressing the right way, getting a hand in the face, making sure that you make those split second, because in especially at the highest level of football, college, the pros, you don't get 5-6 seconds to throw the ball. It's 1, 2, 3 seconds, and the pressure's there. You don't need to hold him for 5-6 seconds. Just a couple of 1, 2 hands, and I'm not too sure what the call is here.
Looks like they're calling for a reset of the clock. 4:14 to go here in the first half. Olympians up 21-0 over East LA. It is a 3-score game so far.
And for the Huskies, you cannot lose your confidence here. A lot of ball game left. 4:14 left in the first half. Can't let these past few drives get to you. If the Huskies are able to put together a nice scoring drive here, the momentum could change. But it all starts with one play at a time for East LA, and it starts with protecting your quarterback as well. I'm not too sure. I believe they might have made a quarterback change. I believe number 9, Jake Garcia, is in at quarterback, product of Baldwin Park High School. I actually got a chance to cover him while he was at high school for the San Gabriel Valley Tribune. A nice athlete, as you can see there.
Yeah, Garcia on the keeper. Runs it right up the middle for a first down. Actually, just shy of the first down. 9-yard gain on the play. 2nd and 1. Garcia, as you said, product out of Baldwin Park, listed at 6'2", 200 pounds. The snap to the right side. Pass broken up. Flag on the play in the backfield.
The Olympians are getting to the quarterback, and they're making it known that they will be physical. Welcome to the big show, Jake Garcia.
So personal foul on San Diego Mesa. It's roughing the passer, automatic first down. So I'm looking at the sidelines just to see the whereabouts of Mr. Anthony Hernandez, just to see if he's not injured. But he is just standing on the sideline. Helmet is on, so he's probably still physically ready to go. But with these minutes dwindling down in the half and with Mesa playing elevated defense, if Hernandez is your starter, you at least want to try to protect him in the half, try to get him a little more rest for the second half and see what he can do from there. Pass is handed off and brought down at the line of scrimmage. That was Giovanni Crabtree on the carry. So 2nd and 10 for East LA. They're on their own 49-yard line. Just over 3 minutes to go. East LA, no timeouts remaining here in the half.
Can't afford to have too many plays go for 0 yards or backwards for East LA here.
Garcia, it's a handoff, and he's met hard. Back at the 49-yard line, and a flag on the play comes up. That was number 25, Thomas Nguri Lee, on the tackle.
Looks like it's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct. He went right into the faces of the East LA coaching staff and sideline right there. Granted, you made the big hit, big play, man. Just celebrate with your own team. That's something that's going to cost you guys a first down. That's just not smart right there. You made a great play on the ball, but you just cost your team a first down, so not something you want to be celebrating anymore. He'll be jogging off to the sideline.
And that little extra celebration was right in front of the official as well, not just the Husky sideline. As you said, he made a great play, but right in front of the wrong people. You just cost yourself all that effort.
I think East LA has more first downs via penalties than they do from actual positive yardage.
I'd have to double check the stats once they're updated and corrected, but I believe you are correct.
And East LA, they're just losing the line of scrimmage. They're just losing the battle of the line of scrimmage right here. I just got to say it frankly and honestly. They need to get a bigger push. You're trying to run the ball. You're trying to do a little RPO action here. You're not fooling anybody if you're not getting a push at the line of scrimmage. You can see Garcia was tapping his chest saying that one was on me. I think he wasn't supposed to hand that ball off on the option. I think he was either supposed to keep it or potentially look for a pass.
Loss of a yard on that play. 2nd and 11 as we've reached the 2-minute timeout.
This is an awful similar drive to the one where they did almost get into field goal range and they attempted a field goal. Unfortunately, it was blocked for the Huskies, but like I keep saying, it's just one play at a time. Can't look too forward, can't look too far behind. Seems like one of the East LA coaches discussing something with the white hat.
So 2nd and 11 here for East LA. 1:59 to go here in the first half. East LA trailing 21-0. But they've had a few favorable calls go their way and some very obvious penalties on the part of San Diego Mesa. But the Huskies nonetheless find themselves in Olympian territory. And Jake Garcia in at quarterback has been doing okay so far in the few reps he's had. We'll see if he's able to do a bit more. Spins and breaks a tackle, and another moves the ball even further. That should be a gain of about 4.
That was a great play from Garcia. He made something out of nothing right there. On the outside, you had the defensive ends crashing hard, and yet Garcia managed to pull that ball out and make a move. And it wasn't a lot of yardage he gained, but it was something, and that's what East LA needs.
3rd and 7 on the Olympian 33. 1:27 to go.
East LA has to be smart here with the clock. 3rd down, 1:23. You don't want to give the Olympians the ball back with enough time to potentially run down the field for a 2-minute drill.
And I was about to say the Olympians had all 3 of their timeouts until they used one of them, so they'll have 2 remaining with 1:18 to go.
Best case scenario here for East LA would be get some points, any points. Obviously that last field goal attempt wasn't the prettiest looking thing, but if they're able to get even just 3 points up, that's something to build off of for the second half.
You at least want to have some positive moment to try to build off of going into halftime, especially since you know Mesa's going to get the ball coming out into the second half. So you want to try to have some positive momentum going into that.
My guess here, if I'm playing Nostradamus, East LA is probably going to keep this ball on the ground to make sure the clock runs. So San Diego Mesa may burn their second time out.
Stubbs in at running back. Garcia still in. Drops back. Pass is broken up, and it'll fall incomplete.
I think they were trying to go for a screen there. Otherwise, I'm not too sure why. He had 4 or 5 guys in his face almost instantaneously. Obviously, that didn't work out for East LA. And a crucial 4th and 7 coming up with only 1:12 remaining here in the second quarter.
And on 4th down, East LA offense will stay on the field. 1:12 to go.
I like the call.
Garcia, plenty of time, throws deep to the left. Pass is intercepted, but out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. So Jake Garcia takes a shot downfield. Pass was intended for Jonas Leo Paz, but the pass was intercepted. Luckily for East LA, it was intercepted well out of bounds into the end zone. So it'll still be a turnover on downs, and Mesa will take over on their own 33 with 1:05 to go and 2 of their timeouts remaining.
I wouldn't be surprised here if they try and run some no huddle, keep it up tempo. They have the talent to do so.
Jesse in at quarterback for Mesa. He'll run to the sidelines for a first down. That'll stop the clock. 58.6 remaining. Here's a snap. Jesse, pass up the middle, and intercepted by East LA. No, it'll fall. Let's see what the call is here.
Interception.
It is indeed an interception. It looked like the ball had come loose and was stripped away, but East LA with a takeaway.
Damari Washington playing the ball hawk role there, a sophomore, one of only a few on this roster, showing his experience there, and gets a huge turnover for East LA. That was a freshman mistake there from Jesse. He just saw a target he liked and threw the ball up. Was an ill-advised throw, especially with how much time they had remaining, a couple timeouts.
He had the right target in mind, trying to go for Colin McCann. He'd gotten them into the end zone on their very first points of the day. But East LA with a great read and a takeaway. 50.9 to go. Garcia in at quarterback. Passes up and complete to number 11, Mikhail King Hagen, who's met hard by 2 Olympians.
Interesting call here.
And there is a penalty flag on the play. We'll see what the call is. I didn't see where the flag was thrown.
It's right
was it
where
in the
he
backfield?
right where he got tackled at. So I'm assuming either
Probably like unnecessary roughness.
Yeah, unnecessary roughness. Still looking for the white hat to make a decision here. Targeting. It's going to be a targeting call.
So an eligible receiver downfield was actually the call. The penalty has been declined, so it'll remain second down for East LA. Or it'll be second down for East LA. Clock is running, 30 seconds to go. Here's the snap. Garcia with a pitch back to Stubbs. Short gain of 1.
Looks like the Huskies are just going to let the clock roll out on the first half and take it into halftime.
And Jake Garcia is indeed doing just that. He's waving his fellow teammates over to the sideline. They'll be content to let zeros come on the board. And that is the end of the first half. After 2 quarters of play, the visitors of San Diego Mesa lead your ELAC Huskies 21-0. We'll step away for the halftime break. You're watching Husky football right here on the ELAC Athletics YouTube channel. So we're back here for the start of our second half of play. Albert Robles and Gabriel Duarte on the call here for you tonight. East LA trailing by a score of 21-0 as Olympians found 3 wide open men for really great touchdowns. First made by Colin McCann. Another went to McLean Watkins. And frankly, I forget who found the end zone that third time, Gabriel. It's been that fast-paced a game in terms of the scoring for the Olympians. But Olympians set to get the ball here to start off our second half. Back to receive, it looks to be number 25 and 27 for the Olympians. And he breaks some tackles, has some wide open daylight, and brought down at the 20-yard line. That was actually number 20 on the return. And that was Isaiah Jackson on the return carry, taking his team well into Husky territory and gives the Olympians some great field position to start the second half.
The Olympians have a couple of really good returners. Jackson, one of them, and Colin McCann, the other one. Kind of like that dangerous 1-2 punch for them. And special teams so underrated, especially at the higher levels of the game. It can make or break results. And as you can see here, instead of starting back deep in their own territory, they're at the 20-yard line, inside the red zone, threatening to score.
And quarterback is Jesse. He hands off, or fakes the handoff to Villanueva. He keeps it himself and is wrapped up and brought down by number 22, Damari Washington. But it is a substantial gain for Rylan Jesse on the keeper. It'll be 2nd and 1.
And you can see in the end zone, ELAC's DBs doing a little bit differently than they were in that first half. That's kind of what we were touching upon, just the positioning and the way they were lining up. They were pressing a lot, and they were getting burned off the line of scrimmage. Now they're playing a couple yards off, giving a tiny bit. You don't want to give too much of a cushion, especially knowing your situation, but just giving enough cushion to help themselves out here.
Aiden Gomez with the tackle for a loss. It'll be a loss of 4 for the Olympians. 3rd and 5. They'll hand it off. No, fake the handoff. Pass up the middle. It's tipped by one of the Husky defenders, and it'll fall incomplete into the end zone. 4th down coming up for San Diego Mesa. So Huskies forces the 4th down. And on comes the special teams unit.
And that's what it's all about here. You know you have a quarterback that's really green. He's a freshman at this level. It's his first collegiate game ever. You want to make him uncomfortable. That's what Mesa has been able to do with ELAC's 2 freshman quarterbacks, Hernandez and Garcia. Now the Huskies kind of returning the favor here. Although they gave up that long kick return, only giving up 3 here, potentially would be a big win for East LA.
If they can keep him off the board, it'd be even better. Kick is up. And it is no good. It is wide left.
A huge win for East LA here. Not only do they hold them scoreless, but it's a huge confidence booster for the program itself. Now the offense is going to jump out back onto the field.
We'll need to see if the offense can feed off that positive momentum after giving up that huge return. Because not only were they able to prevent Mesa from getting into the end zone, they kept them off the board entirely in that possession. Mesa unable to do anything with the 4 downs they got. So East LA takes over on their own 20-yard line. 13:25 to go here in the 3rd quarter. They trail by 21. It'll be handoff to Garcia. Sorry, snap to Garcia. He keeps it himself. Gain of about 3.
Just not afraid to show off those wheels, making one cut and going. That's what you need. Just need to put your head down and go. Apologize for the first half, unable to get a clock up. Figured things out on the technical side, and we're matched right up here with the actual game clock here at Weingart Stadium.
There is the handoff to Stubbs. Gain of about 2, so 3rd and manageable coming up here for East LA. Jake Garcia looks to be taking over the quarterback role for the remainder of the game. Hernandez looks to be okay, but he is on the sideline with his helmet on. We'll see if he comes back into this game at all. My guess is if he does, it'll be because East LA has gotten on the board and is back in the game.
3rd and about 6 here. Could be a passing down for the Huskies. You can sense the pressure coming.
Garcia has a snap. He rolls left, pass to the left, and it's bobbled and falls incomplete. He was trying to get it to the hands of Mikhail King Hagen, the 6'4" sophomore out of Inglewood. So it'll be a Husky 4th down, and on comes the special teams. They're going to kick it away. Casey Sanchez, the punter for your Huskies.
That was the look for East LA. You had Garcia rolling out to his left, just unable to connect with his target there.
Kick is up, and will take a Husky bounce, and will be downed at the 43-yard line by Jonathan Robles. No relation.
So not the offensive start you wanted if you're East LA, as the defense trots back out there after getting a couple of big stops, holding San Diego Mesa scoreless in their opening possession of the second half. But if you're East LA, you got to start addressing the special teams units. I mean, the missed field goal, the punts with the snaps that are bouncing to the punter, which forces the punter to kind of speed up his process. As you all know, kicking it's almost more of an art and a science than it is an actual athletic motion. And all those guys, they study it, they prepare the same way every time, and when you're sped up, it kind of throws off your whole process there. Punt didn't really go too far. It sets up Mesa in some prime territory here around midfield to begin their second possession of the second half. Giving away free yardage like that is not ideal if you're East LA, especially when you're down 21.
Devin Sard on the previous carry, gain of 5. And we have a pass to the sidelines now. That'll go complete for the first down and more. That looks to be number 10 on the catch for San Diego Mesa. That is McLean Watkins with the first down yardage and then some. Jesse still in at quarterback. It's a handoff to Devin Serta. Brought down after 5 yards. That's number 93 on the tackle, Gilmar Tennis.
East LA giving up 5 yards a clip, 6 yards a clip per run. That is not ideal run defense here. They're going to go back
We'll
to
hand
the
it
ground.
off to Serta yet again. He'll move the chains. Officially a gain of 7 on that play. So ball is now on the 25-yard line of East LA's territory. 10.5 to go here in the third. Mesa up by 3 scoring possessions. And Serta drops the shoulder and the head to muscle in another 10-yard first down run. Helmet pops off of one of the Olympians. That's number 43. He'll have to sit the next play out.
Serta is such a tough runner, man. He just puts his head down, gets a few. It's easy to put your head down when you have an offensive line that's blocking for you as well as the Olympians have. But I've just been really impressed with the way he touts the rock.
Serta, another carry. Good for about 7 yards. So second and short. And Devin Serta, you know, he's listed at 5'10", 220. That's a big guy in a small package. When you're that low to the ground, you definitely have that much more of an advantage to be able to throw down your shoulders and really plow through the field. And he's done that effectively all evening. And it's a keeper to Jesse. They fake the handoff.
Took a big hit out of bounds.
It looked like that time the Husky defense bought all in on a Serta carry. That allowed Jesse to move the chains. It'll be 1st and goal on the 4-yard line. 9:10 to go.
They
fumble the snap. We'll see who recovers it.
Looks like an offensive lineman jumped on it. Heads up play there.
That was number 67, Giovanni Paulson, falling on the ball. 2nd and goal. Will be a loss of 2 on the play. So 2nd and goal from the 6. Serta still in at running back. Jesse moves right. Can't have a man downfield, and he does have a guy wide open, and he's in for the touchdown on the near side corner. Pass complete to number 23, Jaden Channel. That's his 2nd touchdown of the game, because that was the other guy who I could not remember found the end zone. It was that guy, and I believe he scored on the far side corner on his first touchdown.
Yeah, and he's able to do it multiple ways. Really impressive, honestly. The first touchdown he scored, it was just a straight fade ball. This time, he's able to adjust his route. He sees his quarterback running, and instead of just sticking to the route, the play he was doing, you move with the ball, which is football 101. If you're a wide receiver, move with the quarterback, especially when the play breaks down. And they're able to find 6 there and score the opening touchdown of the second half.
It looked as if the Olympians had nothing on that play, so major credit to Rylan Jesse, able to find his guy, Jaden Channel, on the near side corner, way back in the end zone for another score. And with the extra point being good, it is 28-0 in favor of the Olympians. This one very quickly running away from East LA.
For East LA, it's hard to cover for a long period of time, especially whatever coverage they're in. If they're in a zone and you see the quarterback breaking down, it gets a little confusing, especially when you're backed up against your own end zone. That's where you really need to be heads up, especially on the defensive line, the front 7 per se. Got to contain, make sure the quarterback doesn't break out. Jesse, we know he has the ability to move. And that threat there caught the Huskies off balance.
Lorenzo Flores lining up for the kick. It's up and booming into the back of the end zone for a touchback. Second kick that's gone for a touchback this evening. East LA unable to return this one. 8 minutes and change left here in the third quarter. Both teams have both their timeouts. East LA still looking for their first points of the evening.
And the Huskies have had their opportunities. It's not like they've just been going 3 and out, 3 and out. They've been able to move the ball on a few drives. Just stalled out in the money area right around the 30 to the 20. Can they finish?
Takes a snap. It's a handoff to Stubbs, and he is lifted and brought back down by the big man, number 33, Chiali Sione.
Sione picks up a penalty there as he went to go look and celebrate towards the East LA sideline. Another boneheaded decision there. I get you make the big play, the big tackle, but you cannot allow an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty to give them a free first down. That's what East LA has been banking on almost, is just the free penalties, the mistakes, the undisciplined moves from San Diego Mesa. It sounds corny to say, but these are just decisions that you cannot make on the field as they give up free yards there.
And that is indeed the call, unsportsmanlike conduct on Sione. Boneheaded move on the terrific stop that he had made on the play. Lifted him up and brought him back down hard on basically a body slam tackle, which you cannot do at any level. It is a big no-no for player safety. But East LA will take the yardage any way they can, the way they've been moving the ball this evening. Garcia takes a snap. He'll hand it off again to Stubbs. It'll be a short gain of 3. 2nd and 7 coming up with 7.5 to go. So far, the offensive playbook, at least with Garcia under center, has pretty much been, hey, go and hand it off to Stubbs. We'll see what he can get you. Or, hey, if you can't hand it off, see if you can't do something with your legs. He hasn't really had many opportunities to sling the ball.
Here comes the blitz.
And he'll keep it with his legs. That's good for the first down. Brought down at the 47-yard line. Tackle made by number 1, Carter Ross.
Good ball carrier vision here from Garcia. He's running up the middle, and he knows the smarts. A couple of moves on the outside. He could have had some room there. Wrapped up, taken down right around midfield as this Husky drive showing a bit of promise here. About 6:30 remaining here in the third quarter.
That's another keeper by Jake Garcia. Gets to the sidelines just shy of the first down. It'll be second at about 6, I believe.
Interesting to see that ELAC has kind of just moved away from the passing, especially the deep balls. It was kind of prevalent early on. They were not afraid to take the shots here, but with the protection breaking down more often than not, they're just electing to go for the quick hitters, go for the runs, go for what's working. Here we go.
2nd and 5. Here's a deep pass. Just past the outstretched hand of Mikhail King-Hagan.
Just missed a connection there. That could have been for 6.
It was a good idea trying to catch them off guard with a nice little deep pass there, as they haven't really tried that all evening, at least with Jake Garcia. But that one will come up short. They'll fake the handoff. Garcia keeps it, spins and breaks the tackle on another, brought down out of bounds at the sidelines, but that's good for a Husky first down.
It looks like Garcia's helmet came off on the play. He got hit pretty hard. And that's just bad form tackling. I get 55 sees a big target there in Garcia. Trollinger trying to make the big hit. You got to wrap up, big fella. You got to make sure you bring the guy down before you're trying to boomstick him. And Garcia bounces off a couple tackles there for a first down. He's doing everything right on this drive for East LA.
Helmet may have come off for Garcia, but he'll actually be able to remain in the game for this particular play. Pass is complete. On a throw. Pass was caught. It's here by number 13, Aiden Ramirez. Gain of 6 on the completed pass. 2nd and 4 with 5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. And Huskies seem like they're starting to get a little bit of momentum going here with Jake Garcia under center.
Another young guy, and it looks like
Garcia takes the snap. He'll keep it himself. Breaks a couple tackles, but can't get back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 2.
A lot of movement on that last play, both sides of the ball. Garcia getting a little bit of a welcome to college moment himself, a freshman. A lot of young quarterbacks in this game, Albert.
And a lot of them getting reps so far. There are, I think, at least 4 quarterbacks rostered for East LA. So far, Hernandez and Garcia have seen most of the action. Other quarterbacks are Tegan Melendez and Chris Perez. Garcia looks as if he was lining to throw it deep, but he'll throw into the flat, complete to number 13, Aiden Ramirez. That's good for the first down. A little bit of extracurricular activity on the sidelines there by Mesa, but I don't see any flags flying.
Yeah, one of the players went flying into the sideline. I think he took out a coach or two. Definitely a guy on the chain gang. Hopefully everyone's okay down there, but they say football is a violent sport, and on that play you can definitely see why.
That is indeed a dangerous place to be on the sidelines if you're a part of the chain gang or a coach. There was an incident, I can't remember if it was last season or the season before, where one of the coaches for an opposing team was taken out by a player, had to be carried out by emergency services. It was a very scary moment.
Yeah, especially if you get chopped, you know, and you get taken down, you hit your head on that turf. Without that helmet, there's a reason why they were in that helmet. You hit your head on any part of that turf, it hurts. And you know, thankfully everyone's okay over there. But like you said, scary situations could occur from that. Interesting spot here for East Los Angeles. They've been here before already. Offense did stall out in their previous couple of drives where they were inside of Olympian territory. I'm sure during this break right now they're saying, remember what happened. We need to finish, boys.
And it looks like some of the officials are looking at, it looks like they're trying to fix the actual chain marker to make sure that's okay. So it looks like the actual flag had popped off the actual pole itself, so it looks like they're trying to get that situated over there. And this is the closest East LA has been to getting points on the board. They're not in the red zone officially, but the 22-yard line is the closest they've gotten all game.
Still a little bit of confusion down there. It looks like we're going to have an even longer break as both teams huddle up near their respective sideline.
So both teams will gladly take the official timeout and the extra break, knowing that neither team is going to lose a timeout in this particular situation as they attend to the chain gang and make sure that those down markers are ready to go. Because it does look like the first down marker has indeed been broken. It looks like it's straight up in shambles.
Welcome to junior college football.
Yeah. I do not know if there is a spare, but judging from Mr. Haynes' lack of reaction, I'm going to say that there isn't. Well, it looks like the chain marker, I mean, it's there. It exists, but it looks more like a wacky, wavy, inflatable tube man right now.
I guess as long as the actual chain itself is connected to the two poles, that will make it usable enough to.
Garcia throws deep to the right side. He's got a guy open. Not quite. Intended for Damari Taylor. Just couldn't quite beat the coverage of the opposing number 2, who is Alec Ekholm. Second and 10 from the Olympians' 22.
I like how the East LA College coaching staff, excuse me, I was mind blanking there. They're giving a lot of confidence into Garcia as this drive goes on, letting him throw a little bit more, letting him throw it deeper a little bit more.
Here's Garcia, brought down for a loss, and ball is loose.
Going to be interesting to see who holds on to this one. I think East LA will retain possession. Garcia didn't even see him coming on that hit, and he is a bit shaken up. You could see him trying to stretch out that shoulder a bit. He took a big hit on that play.
So ball will stay in the hands of the Huskies. So an offensive lineman was able to fall onto the ball and prevent a turnover, but it is a massive loss of yards. It's 3rd and 17.
That might have knocked him out of field goal range there. That could be that devastating of a play. Got to get a few yards back here. Can't afford to have a negative here.
Blitz comes in bounds. Garcia moves, throws the ball up, and it is intercepted by the Olympians. That's number 55 with the takeaway for San Diego Mesa. That's Vilyamu Trollinger, the 215-pound freshman out of Montgomery High School in San Diego, California. Big takeaway for a big boy. And Mesa will take over on the 25-yard line of East LA. 2 minutes to go here in the third. They lead East LA 28-0.
You can tell Garcia was unhappy with how that play unfolded there, but really had no other option, either throw it out of bounds or run out of bounds. Instead, he tries to make the play there, and unfortunately, it's a turnover for East LA.
Pass is complete to number 18 of San Diego Mesa. That's Grady Woodward. That's good for the first down.
On the ground. I believe that was Serta.
That's actually Alexander Villanueva on the carry. 6 and 5 look a little similar to that
jersey
font
was folded,
structure.
especially the jersey was folded. I couldn't even get a good look there. I need my glasses.
It's a little tricky sometimes. But that's the first action that Villanueva has seen, I think, here in the second half.
They haven't needed to do much. I don't think they've ran a lot of plays here in the second half. A lot of success here for the Olympians offense.
Diesel Taylor back in at quarterback with the keeper. He'll run it for the first down to the sidelines. That should have stopped the clock if he got to the sideline, but I guess there was a little contact prior to that. He'll throw it to the left side. Pass complete. Knocked out of bounds. Looks like that's number 10, McLean Watkins, on the catch and run.
Nice hit there from Levon Hernandez, 6'2" DB.
Here's a snap. Throws to the left. Watkins with the catch. Good for the first down. And about another 10 yards on top of it.
It looks like San Diego Mesa just keeps going back to what's working. It almost ran nearly an identical play there.
Yeah, ball's now on the 33-yard line. Clock is ticking. They'll throw it to the stick side again. And Watkins, he just comes up limping. Hopefully he's okay. It was a non-contact play there, and he just pulls up. I think he might have gotten a bit of a flat tire there, looking at how he's reacting to his shoes, because he doesn't look like he's in any pain. Just looks like it's an annoyance than anything else.
He was hobbling because he didn't want his foot to touch the ground. You know, when you get sweaty and your socks get a little sticky and you got to take off your shoe, it is a pain in the butt. It really is. So I kind of feel for him there as we head to the fourth quarter. Field will flip for San Diego Mesa.
So fourth quarter coming up. San Diego Mesa with the ball. It'll be 2nd and 10.
after we swap sides of the fields here.
Still got a lot of pride to play for East LA. Although you're down. You're down 28-0 at home.
Keep going. You're good.
And you don't want this to get any worse, especially, I mean, you don't talk about how there's a lot of time left. I mean, the fourth quarter, only 15 minutes. But it's not too late to put up a touchdown. It's not too late to get another stop here. Second and
You want to play for that moral victory and gain some positive takeaways coming out of your first game of the season. Pass is dropped by number 14. That's Braxton Shirley. Diesel Taylor had him wide open, just right through his hands. That'll fall incomplete. 3rd and 3 for Mesa. Here's the snap. Pass up the middle, complete. It's good for the first down. He breaks some tackles and gets some extra yardage. And the pass was complete to number 18, Grady Woodward.
And for East LA, you just got to think about it like this. This was almost like a non-league game for them, out of conference for them. So, like you said, a lot of learning moments. It's the first game of the season for them. Yes, you can see it's the first game of the season for San Diego Mesa too, and they have a 28-point lead. But for East LA, like you said, a lot of new faces, a lot of youngsters, freshmen who are just playing for the first time in college, and it's kind of showing here. A lot of youth, but with the youth comes a lot of growth throughout the season, and I'm sure that's what the coaching staff is looking forward to, seeing their guys get more and more game experience under their belt. And by the time league play comes around, you got Fullerton coming to town September 19th. Excuse me, they're going to Fullerton. That's the start of conference play. It's a big matchup, and you only have a couple of games to really adjust for it.
Diesel Taylor brought down for a sack on the previous play. He'll throw to the sidelines and into the end zone. Pass was caught but brought down out of bounds. So the defense bends but doesn't break on that throw. They'll prevent Mesa from putting up another 6 on the board.
I think Taylor could have still been holding on to that ball. That's how much time he had. Very, very impressive performance from the big guys of San Diego Mesa. That offensive line, they've given their quarterbacks time. They've given their running backs holes. They've done everything you've asked from them. And on top of that, Albert, they've limited the penalties in a season-opening game.
Almost the takeaway for East LA. Pass was floated up by Diesel Taylor, number 29 of East LA, who isn't on my roster, Cerwin.
I believe that's Levon Hernandez.
That is indeed Levon Hernandez. Gets a hand on it, but couldn't quite come away with the ball.
That could have been for 6. That could have been a huge play.
Mesa will line up for their second field goal attempt of the game. And kick is up. No good. So Mesa, despite the fact that they have 4 touchdown and extra points on the board, they have yet to actually put one through the uprights from any other position from a point after. So they've missed all their field goal attempts today.
I think you said it perfectly. Finding a kicker that can kick 20, 30, 40 yards on a dime at this JUCO level, it's hard.
It's so hard. Because if you can, you're not going to be here. And that's just the reality of how deep college athletics goes. Because not only do you have, the junior collegiate level and the various divisions therein, you have the NAIA, those various conferences, and then, of course, for the NCAA level, there's, D1, 2, and 3, and all those various conference and teams. It is so hard to find a kicker worth their salt. Ball is loose, and it is turned over. San Diego Mesa with a big takeaway.
And that is just heartbreaking for East LA College. The first play where Garcia is actually able to make a big gain, and unfortunately a fumble. And to be frank with you, that's a little bit of unlucky movement. That ball stayed just in bounds on the sideline in time for Mesa to pick it up.
So here's a snap. Taylor and a quarterback. They hand it off to Villanueva, and he'll run it for an easy 12-yard gain. That's good for the first down. 13 minutes to go here in the game. Mesa leading 28-0. I guess some of the main positives, if you're East LA, to look at it this game, even though there's still a little bit of time left for, your offense to make a little more highlight-type plays, is, yeah, you gave up some touchdowns, but hey, you didn't let them kick one through the uprights for, from further yardage. You at least managed to get an interception. You at least managed to get a sack with this young freshman majority team, with basically a head coach coming back into the season with a brand new team, new schemes coming in, a lot to learn and a lot to grow on.
And especially at this junior college level, when rosters and coaches, it's very fluid situation. Even just a couple weeks before the game starts, everything's just so fluid. You have guys flying in and out of the program. Like you said, it takes time to implement schemes, systems, how you want to operate your program. Yes, you have a couple of months throughout the summer and throughout the fall, but it takes a lot longer. It's rare to see a Kurt Signetti type
It doesn't
turnover.
happen overnight, and they've only had the one preseason game, which I don't know how that went because the stats weren't posted for it, but it's a preseason game. But the point is, like with the heat and the weather, there's only so much that you can do to kind of prep. Like week one, for as important as it is in terms of your overall record and schedule, it is kind of a giveaway game, as Villanueva jukes an official and runs it into the end zone for an Olympians touchdown.
It was a nice 24-yard carry there. Bad tackling from East LA College. You could just see the morale from the Huskies. It's not there anymore. He made a couple guys miss, and that was a good credit to Villanueva, but just seemed a little lackadaisical, for a better term, from the East LA College defense.
I mean, even one of the referees saw him and just wanted to get out of the way, saying, I don't want no part of this.
Well, he sees how hard everybody's been banging down there. He doesn't want to be a part of that.
So here comes the extra point attempt. Kick is up. Kick is good. $35-0 in favor of the visiting Olympians. And in the words of Cerwin D. Haynes, this game is pretty much all but academic.
It's just about learning moments at this part of the game, getting guys experience, getting them the reps. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Huskies offense come out with, some excitement right here. In terms of play calling, I don't expect them to just give 3 handoffs in a row. Maybe expect Garcia to throw the ball a little bit more. He looked good on that last play until they fumbled it. Potentially get him, rolling out a little bit. Play to his strengths here and see what the young man can do.
Back to receive for East LA is number 20, Diddy Cyber. And looks to be number 10, Michael Rayner. Kick is boomed well past the end zone. That'll be a touchback.
A little bit of college football going on at the Division I level. I know top 25 team to begin with. Missouri is opening up their season. Football is back, everybody, and not a better time for it to be. Hot summer days still coming along in the middle to late August, so I would not want anything more to be couched up on a Saturday afternoon watching USC, watching a lot of big-time college football games coming on this weekend.
Enjoying your air conditioning, whatever other means of keeping cool you have at your household, because the press box up here is wide open. We are wholly exposed to the elements. Pass complete to number 1, Dwayne Thompson, for a short gain of about 4. Actually good for 5. So 2nd and 5 coming up for East LA here. And that's one thing that I kind of look forward to when Weingart Stadium gets its inevitable refurbishment, is a closed air-conditioned press box with a window that can open up, so you can at least have your camera shooting outward, because no one likes to shoot through glass. It's not fun.
And to hear the crowd and whatnot, but to protect you from the elements. Tough run there.
Using his legs, number 10, Michael Rayner. He'll move the chains. Tackle was made by number 94. That's Jacob Nyberg of San Diego Mesa. First down for East LA with just under 11 minutes to go. And an elevator. That's I'd have to say, honestly, is my biggest wish for a Weingart Stadium doing games here. As Damari Taylor with the catch and run for 20 yards gets the first down, and they find themselves in Olympians territory. Is a nice little elevator coming up to the press box, because these steps, while they are not Cerritos Stadium, I don't know if you've ever been there.
Yep.
I do not like coming up these steps with the massive amount of equipment that I have to carry. It is not fun. I do not recommend it.
One stadium that did get renovated in this area, Veterans, down Long Beach City College. They got a nice refurbishment of their stadium, and if I heard correctly, I heard that place is kind of similar to Cerritos. It used to be the big walk up.
It does. It has it's a massive stadium.
And I did hear from a couple fellow sports writers who had the same complaints as you. They're a couple of years old, I would say a couple of decades older than you, so their knees aren't as agile as ours are. And they told me, Veterans Stadium is the new place to watch games. They got an elevator, so looking forward to inevitably when that comes to East LA College.
I forget when the remodel was complete, but I have had the privilege of doing a few games down at Saddleback College in Mission Viejo. Saddleback Stadium is gorgeous. They have an elevator. It's terrific. It's a little slow, but they've got one, so I'll take it.
Saddleback is a wonderful place to watch a game. I remember a couple years ago they hosted the CIF state championships. So, 3-4 games in one day, and you. And that place. They also have a couple of turf fields on the backside of their place. It's almost like a Division I facility. That's
they have 2 full practice fields for their football team behind the stadium, and it's 2 full soccer practice fields on top of that. They hosted a soccer showcase at the end of last season, so they had 3 games going at the same time on both the stadium side of thing and behind the stadium on the practice fields. And it was quite the event. I was very impressed with the facilities and what Saddleback was able to do therein.
Looks like East LA picked up the first down here. Timeout will be called.
Looks like it'll be an injury timeout as we have an injured Olympian on the field. That is number 11, Preston Bowles.
And that's where cramps start to kick in at this point in the game. You got guys who've been playing, almost a couple of hours now, and especially at the heat coming in. Just hoping Bowles is okay.
Also, I'm pretty sure it's Bowles now that I look at it,
Bowles.
because why would anybody want to pronounce it that way? But you never know.
And that's why we need pronunciation guides now.
Yep.
Just taking a further look what's coming up for East LA College football. They got their next game September 5th at Palomar. So they're going to be heading down south into San Diego.
That'll be fun.
That'll be a good matchup for the Huskies on the road. And then they come back up to Weingart Stadium September 12th to take on Santa Ana. That will be right before they kick off conference play September 19th at Fullerton. And then September 26th against Golden West. So a really tough end to the month of September for East LA. But they'll have 3 games under their belt, including that scrimmage. So this could be an entirely new East LA College team, not personnel-wise, but in terms of experience, what they've seen, what they know works. And that will be a fun time when it comes.
I believe the game against the Dons will be a fairly close game. Not to be a naysayer, but I can tell you right now, the Fullerton game will be a lot to a little in favor of the Hornets, and the Golden West game will probably be the same way. Those are 2 perennial playoff teams, as it were. They're consistently involved. Fullerton is constantly in the mix for OEC champions every season for almost every sport that they do, and they are a powerhouse of a college. That's not to discredit East LA at all, but they are just that good. Golden West is usually that good. Fullerton is better than Golden West, but Golden West is that good.
And you hate to think of it as kind of like a rebuilding year for the Huskies, because in terms of junior college football, when you only have 3 years max with a guy, with if he red shirts or gray shirts, excuse me, if he gray shirts here. So not a lot of continuity to deal with, and so you're going to run into those cycles where you have a freshman-loaded roster like they do this year. And granted, hopefully, I'm assuming the coaching staff will want everybody to come back with a bunch of game experience under their belt after this year, regardless of if they go 9-1 or 0-10. They want these kids back because they have that experience, they know the system, and I'm sure that I'm not going to say they're looking ahead to next year, but this year will have their bumps and bruises and a lot of growth, more importantly. And when you look for positives for East LA College football, that is what you're going to use as the barometer. You want to know, how much growth have we had from this game to the next game to the next game. Otherwise, you're just looking at, stats and scores. It's not going to be the prettiest. It just won't, especially with how much youth and how talented JUCO football is in Southern California. Like you said, Fullerton, Golden West, 2 of the most premier programs, not just in California, across the country. I would venture to say Fullerton and Golden West could compete for a national title if they were able to, obviously, with how different JUCO in California is compared to the rest of the country in terms of housing, scholarships, and all that. I think if it was on a fair and even base, those two programs in particular would have a shot at staking their claim as potentially one of the best JUCOs in the country.
Well said. Not much I can say about that, but yeah, it's just the absolute truth. Mike, when you look at the funding, the recruitment that goes into a lot of those programs, that is where a lot of schools in general find themselves struggling to compete in a lot of conferences. That's why you see a lot of teams move from different sections just to find themselves to be able to compete and gain a little more draw coming into your school.
And who doesn't want to play college football in Southern California, man?
It's beautiful.
Especially you have Fullerton and Golden West and Huntington Beach right by they're not experiencing this type of weather, and that's only 25, 30 minutes down the road from here.
Considering the number of junior colleges that exist within Southern California in general, only so many of them are actually able to put together a football program, and only so many teams actually have the facilities and capabilities to host, to reasonably field that team should you actually be able to get the recruitment.
Yep.
Weingart Stadium here, it's one of a handful of actual bowl stadiums that exist at this level that any college has. I can't think of.
One off the top of my head is Orange Coast College, and they don't even field a football program this year.
There's very few schools.
I can give you another one. Pierce College up in the San Fernando Valley. They're also not fielding a football program. But
they canceled it this year.
They have a nice facility over there up in Pierce. And, shoot, I went to Cal State Northridge. It's a little bit in the southern part of the valley, but the area is blanking me right now. But it's a nice facility is my point. And like you said, some of these, it's so competitive for kids, not just the Jimmies and Joes from the local schools, but you're looking at some of these rosters, Florida, even East LA College, they got a couple kids, Nevada, I know they have one from Florida. They're getting out-of-state kids to come to these schools, and on top of that, you got the Division I, Division II bounce backs coming down from wherever high level they were playing, and they want to go to programs that they know are going to bounce them out, and there's a whole bunch of them scattered across Southern California.
And not just out of state, but out of country as well. Like you'll find at this level, you'll get a lot of international recruits coming in, especially depending on the sport. Like there were like a few kids that I've seen from Australia, a few kids that I've seen from Germany coming in from like different schools. Like a lot of teams are really extending out their reach, even for the JUCO level, to try to find talent and field their teams. Like it's crazy to me, the LA Pierce with all like their facilities unable to field a team this year. Like it's bizarre to me. And I know that there are some unfortunate circumstances, like Santa Barbara Valley I think had to cancel their program a few years ago just due to the massive amount of injuries that they had. Like it became like a player safety issue of like, okay, like we lost all these other players. The players that we have right now aren't that experienced, like they're getting hurt just because they're still learning the game at a certain level, and like they just could not keep up. And I think they did the smart and safe thing to do. It's like, hey, we cannot put these kids, these student athletes, in any further harm. Shut it down. We'll reset and kind of go from there.
4th and a mile coming up for the Huskies here. And it looks like they made change.
Looks like it's 3rd and forever. 3rd and 34 with 5:19 to go. East LA still trailing 35-0, and yes, there is still a football game going on. Try to bring you as much content as possible and a lot of context in terms of what's going on in Southern California football.
Looks like the Huskies made a change at quarterback, I believe.
Deep pass good to Damari Taylor, tackled out of bounds at about the 15-yard line, and it's the best fielding position East LA has been in all season. And you are correct, Gabriel. It is a new QB under center for the Huskies. That is number 6, Tegan Melendez, with a great first down pass to Damari Taylor.
And Tegan Melendez, we were just talking about, he's an out-of-state kid from DeKalb, Illinois. So he's coming in relatively unknown to the area, able to make his mark after 2 quarterback changes. Could this be the spark the Huskies were looking for?
So 1st and 10. Pass will go incomplete as Melendez was slinging it. And here's how you can tell that Melendez is pretty far down on the pecking order for getting reps. His jersey number, not the same as any of his fellow teammates. Everyone else on the field has bold, bright white numbers. His, I think, is the old numbering.
The Under Armour jerseys. Hey, but props to the kid. It doesn't matter what he's wearing. He's willing to just go out there and ball.
Melendez will keep it. He'll run left. Stays behind the line of scrimmage. Tries to find a man downfield. That's Mikhail Keenhagen, the intended target. Couldn't rein it in, and it's a 3rd down. .423 to go.
Promising drive here for the Huskies. I feel like I'm sounding like a broken record at this point, but
they've had a few of them, unable to capitalize on any of them.
And at this level of football, you need to take advantage of the opportunities you get.
Melendez, he's got Crabtree wide open. Touchdown, Huskies.
I love the confidence from Melendez. He throws the touchdown pass and then has a quick word to say to one of the Mesa defenders, and that's what you need. You come off the bench, you need to provide some type of spark because the coaches are looking towards you to do something. You're the third quarterback to come in for the game for the Huskies. They're desperate. They're desperate for points. They're desperate for energy. They're desperate for juice, and that's exactly what Tegan Melendez just brought.
Giovanni Crabtree on the catch and run for 6, gets East LA on the board for the first time tonight. And East LA will find themselves finally kicking for an extra point. And the snap is fumbled and kicked away. Flags will fly. Mesa picks up the ball as it does not get out of bounds. But with that flag being called, I don't think this return is going to count by any means. We'll see what the call officially is by the White Hat.
That was a wild play. I think I saw Sanchez try and kick the ball while it was on the ground.
He did try to kick it out of bounds, that is for sure.
I can't believe what I just saw there. This was a mess of a play, and frankly, I think both coaches are just glad that it didn't get ugly because I saw a couple of players get hit. It could have gotten cheap, but thankfully, it's just what it is at this point.
So the snap was indeed fumbled. Illegal kicking motion, I believe, was the call there. Penalties declined. That is a touchdown. Or no, I think a return kick is 2 points. So it's still hilarious. I think that's the first time I've ever actually seen that happen before. It's not very often that that's called. Because I forget that that's the actual point scoring in general, because that's how rare it happens. That's probably one of the only times, other than a sack, that you can get, other than a safety, that you can get 2 points.
Yep.
Yeah. So the rare PAT return. That's the kind of game it's been today so far, folks.
A tough moment there for Sanchez. I mean, he tried doing the
tried.
right thing. He knew the play was over. Instead of diving on the ball, I mean, as a kicker, I probably wouldn't have advised him to dive on the ball just because you're going to have a bunch of 300, 280-pound men on you.
How defensively aggressive Messi has been playing, it would have been a dog pile.
Who knows how deep the Huskies are at kicker. Save that leg of yours. Live to fight another day, my man.
Based off the depth of most special teams kickers, I'm going to say not at all. I believe there was a season where we had a soccer player come onto the team. Like that happened.
That sounds like a high school type play.
Yeah.
Just go recruit kids off the soccer team.
Happened twice, I believe. Yeah. Big return here for Mesa. Still running, brought down at the 35 of East LA.
And I once again, I'm going to sound like a broken record here, but special teams has been killing East LA College. The long kickoff returns. You can't give your defense a fair shot when they're getting the ball, when the offense is getting the ball inside your own territory. It seems like it's almost every return at this point. And on top of that, like I said, the punts haven't been clean. Obviously, the field goal attempts and the PATs haven't been clean. There's a lot of little things for the Huskies to clean up on before they head into next week on the special team side of the ball.
Mesa with the handoff to number 20. That's Isaiah Jackson. Shy of the first down, but a substantial gain on the play. 2nd and 3 for the Olympians. Fake the handoff, ball is tipped away, falls incomplete. And that's Rylan Jesse back in at quarterback for Mesa. 3rd and 3. They hand it off again to Jackson. He'll get the first down. Tiptoes the sideline and into the end zone for a touchdown.
Yeah, that was just poor effort on the side of East LA College there. It seems like I'm on the 2nd touchdown run in a row for Mesa. Mesa's just able to do what they want with the ball, and it seems like East LA College is not giving much effort on the chase. Not to discredit that run, because that was impressive, keeping his balance down the sideline.
But there is like that demoralization factor where it's like you're already beat up. It's already, was 90-degree heat, probably like 85-degree heat, a little humid because of the rain that apparently happened a little earlier. And I guess there is still a little bit of rain in the forecast. Who saw that coming today? False start on the offense. That'll back them up.
Was against Mesa.
Gigs up and kick is good for Petrich. 44-0 our score.
44-6.
Sorry, 44-6. I forgot we got on the board.
Don't discredit the Huskies there, Albert.
Yeah.
It's very quiet.
The heat plays with you after a while.
You could hear a pin drop here at Weingart Stadium. Crowd taken out of the game.
A little rotary clacker toy you hear, that has gone silent.
I said you're playing for morale, and it looks like the Huskies have kind of dropped on that one too. It will not be a pretty day whenever they have post-game film, either Friday or Saturday. Usually with these Thursday night games, at least at the high school level, they kind of give you on Friday the day off, to go do whatever you want to do, maybe go check out another game. I'm not too sure the Huskies will get a day off tomorrow or Saturday. It might be a long, long week for prepping for Palomar next.
Kick is up and away and will be returnable for East LA. On the return, number 13, Aiden Ramirez for East LA.
A little bit of a skirmish down there between Ramirez and number 21 for Mesa. That's going to be Matthew Carr, the third, a freshman.
And I will say credit to East LA a little bit, because I know you're getting beaten badly right now by this Olympians defense in terms of, your offensive capabilities. But I do like that with the amount of chippiness that can kind of come when you have this massive disparity in score, East LA has, relatively speaking, maintained their cool. Like, they could have gotten a heck of a lot worse in terms of their mentality and kind of taking their aggressions out on the opposition. But it's really kind of Mesa who's kind of been acting up and kind of creating that tension a little more. You see a little more goading out of them given the actual lead that they have. So I do want to give a lot of credit for cooler heads prevailing, at least on East LA side, because it could get a lot more dirty, and it hasn't been by any means. And you've seen it in the past, and I'm glad it isn't existing right now.
It's a side culture, to be honest with you, and I think, although we talk about, how undisciplined they could look during the game, that is a form of discipline in itself. You're getting your butt whooped. Sometimes you just want to do the wrong thing, and for East LA, that hasn't been the case. You can see linemen blocking for their guys right here. Hard nose running from Cybar.
Steady Cyber with the run there. I think I heard Sieber from the PA announcer.
Sieber. I like how the Huskies are trying to incorporate a lot of different guys into their. They're just trying to figure out what works.
Get a little bit of tape, see what works.
What works against guys that aren't wearing the same jersey as you, who don't know what the play call is going to be, and I think it's been taking a while, but I think they're trying to starting to find out what's happening here.
Dede Sieber out of Monrovia.
Might I mention he's a freshman? Said that a
Most
few
of them
times.
are. We've reached the 2-minute timeout. East LA trailing 44-6.
Like you said, there could be a positive ending to this for East LA, although you got blanked for 3 quarters. Scoring a pair of touchdowns at the end, that's something you can hang your hat on heading into next week.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for East LA coming out of the 2-minute timeout. Tegan Melendez still in at quarterback for this Husky offense. Able to get 6 on the board with an earlier pass and run catch into the hands of Giovanni Crabtree. They were unable to get the extra point, though, as the snap was fumbled and returned for 2 by Mesa. Melendez scrambles, rolls left, pass complete. That was to number 20, Dede Sieber. Almost got into the end zone, just shy. Think knocked out at about the 5. It'll be 1st and goal on the 5. So East LA finds themselves in the red zone for the 3rd time today.
Yep. They had a drive where they actually reached the 20, and then they had that big sack that knocked them like 15 yards back and knocked them out of field goal range entirely earlier in the first half.
1:50 remaining on the clock. Melendez has a snap. Hands off to Sieber. And he is stuffed by a group of Olympians. Looks like he got it back to the line of scrimmage, though, so no loss on the play.
You can tell Tegan Melendez has been waiting a long time for this moment. To me, he's doing all the things right. Right there, he showed a little bit of leadership. He saw his guys getting into a little bit of a scrum. Cannot afford a 15-yard penalty, so he knows to pull his guys back out, live to fight another down. They're inside the red zone. They got goal to go. So inside of 10 yards, they have a chance to strike here. And for Melendez, who's only been in this is his 2nd drive, to go 2 for 2 on scoring opportunities.
He's got one to the corner, just past the outstretched hands of Jaden Thomas. It hit him in the hands, but it was just a little overthrown. But Melendez did have a good read on the play, just couldn't quite make the connection.
If Melendez is able to lead 2 scoring drives, I seriously think Coach Arnie Robles has a lot to consider. He's had 3 quarterbacks to look at, lots of film to digest and to break down, but he has to like what he sees from his freshman out of DeKalb, Illinois.
Jonas Little pass comes to the sidelines. Sieber in at running back. Hagan lined up on the far side at receiver. Damari Taylor on the near side.
False start.
And a timeout called by East LA is what it looks like.
Oh, they got the timeout off. That was very, very close.
Yeah, timeout called by East LA, beating the play clock.
Both teams trotting back out here. Ball at the 5-yard line, so they'll get 2 opportunities here. Can't afford to go backwards. I'm sure Melendez is hoping it's a pass play so he can add on to his stats, and 2 passing touchdowns would not be a bad way to open up your college career.
By the way, according to the internet, it could be pronounced DeKalb or DeKalb. DeKalb. And that is a turnover. Unfortunate as it is, the Olympians with a takeaway. That's McLean Watkins.
Kept talking about the touchdown. I think that was a broadcaster's curse right there. I think we'll take full responsibility for that one. But such an unfortunate turn of events for East LA College here, as you can see everybody walking off the field. About 45 ticks left in this one here.
Yeah, so Watkins with 2 impact plays of the evening, 1 for a touchdown, the other for an interception on defense.
Just been one of those nights for the Huskies.
.45 seconds ago, 1st and 10 for the Olympians, and they should be content to kneel this one out.
I think they got the victory formation out there. He's going to take the knee. Both teams going to line it up. Hopefully nothing ugly happens at the end of this one.
You got one more knee. Oh, you know what? No, they don't. Never mind. I thought they had one more knee, but nope.
So game clock is ahead of the play clock. Zeros will be on the board momentarily. But a disappointing showing for East LA on their home opener of the season. They will go down to San Diego Mesa 44-6 with zeros on the board. There were some positive takeaways on the evening defensively mostly for East LA, but at least they were able to get on the board with some late game action for Giovanni Crabtree finding the end zone. And, of course, third-string quarterback getting some action in the form of Tegan Melendez. Getting some really good reps, really, in the long run there. Like, he was able to get a good few passes, get a good few, keepers in. Couldn't quite get them into the end zone on that last possession there, but things were looking good until that turnover. But for now, for Cerwin D. Haynes, the SID here at East Los Angeles College, I'm Albert Robles. He is Gabriel Duarte. You've been watching East Los Angeles College football on the East Los Angeles College Athletics YouTube channel.